Hey everybody, and here we are for my WWE Superstar Shakeup of 2017. This is probably really close to WWE Figure Draft, but we have the WWE Superstar Shakeup coming up next week on Raw and SmackDown, which pretty much means Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan are going to pick and do trades. So pretty much what's going to happen, Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle are going to talk. They say, hey, I give you Roman Reigns, and then Daniel Bryan says, okay, I give you AJ Styles for it, and stuff like that. So that is pretty much what I understand is going to happen. Now, the big rumor is that AJ Styles is going to Monday Night Raw, and I really don't think that should happen at all. AJ Styles kind of did build SmackDown Live, so I really think they should not send him over to Raw, especially with everyone they got on that roster. I mean, do you think they are going to put AJ Styles over a guy like Brock Lesnar, over Roman Reigns, over Braun Strowman? Probably not, and on SmackDown, AJ Styles is in a pretty good position that he should be in. So, of course, you could make all of them look really good, which is probably what Vince McMahon wants. But I don't think it should happen, and AJ Styles should definitely stay on SmackDown Live. Now, Roman Reigns apparently was scheduled to go to SmackDown Live, but they changed their mind on that now. So as it looks like Roman Reigns is going to stay on Monday Night Raw, which I think is the right choice. I don't think people would like Roman more on SmackDown, so I think that should not happen. Roman should stay on Monday Night Raw, and I don't even think we should do too many superstar shakeups, drafts, or however you want to call it, trades. There shouldn't be that many, because I feel there's the draft still coming up later this year, so you should probably do like 4 or 5 picks, 4 to 5 drafts, trades, whatever, however you want to call them. I don't know how you are going to call them this time around. But who should move the roster? I have a bunch of figures from both rosters here. And who should move the roster? And that is pretty tough. I think what definitely needs to happen is that Daniel Bryan trades in The Miz. And I think that is definitely going to happen. I see The Miz going to Raw, because it would be pretty stupid if Daniel Bryan gets to trade someone. He would definitely pick The Miz, because he doesn't want The Miz on SmackDown Live. They have their differences, so I think he would definitely send The Miz over to Monday Night Raw. But who would Monday Night Raw give in return for The Miz? And that is pretty tough, but I would say a great trade here would be to trade in The Miz for Sami Zayn. Now, Sami Zayn just needs to go to SmackDown Live. We have said that for a very long time. Actually, there was a time where I was like, man, Sami might be really doing something great on Raw, but that kind of fell flat again. So I think Sami Zayn should definitely go to SmackDown Live. I mean, just imagine the matches with Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles, Sami Zayn, John Cena possibly, maybe another remake of Sami Zayn against Shinsuke Nakamura, endless possibilities. Miz doesn't really have anything to do on SmackDown right now, because John Cena's obviously gone, and he didn't really start a new feud yet, so Miz going over is an obvious one, and Sami Zayn doesn't have anything to do on Monday Night Raw at all, so I think this trade would make a lot of sense, and I think it would do Sami Zayn so well. I don't know if it will do Miz any good, because SmackDown obviously is the better show, and I think that is also something that they are actually going to do. So Miz to Monday Night Raw and Sami to SmackDown Live. Now, a guy I would really love to trade over to Monday Night Raw would be Dean Ambrose, but he still has the Intercontinental Championship, and I don't think that would really make too much sense. I want Ambrose over on Raw, so we could possibly get a Shield reunion down the line. They might even do that. I mean, Corbin did beat Dean Ambrose last week, so we might get a championship match on the next edition of SmackDown Live, and then they could possibly trade Dean Ambrose, maybe without the Intercontinental Championship. Maybe that would actually make sense. So what we're going to do is we're going to put Dean Ambrose over to Monday Night Raw. This is like a really on the fly thing now because I just did realize it. They could just have Baron Corbin beat Dean Ambrose, and then Dean Ambrose is going over to Monday Night Raw. And I want Dean Ambrose on Monday Night Raw because I want a possible Shield reunion. You know, we cannot get a Shield reunion as of right now. And just the possibility with Ambrose being there, you could always think, man, when are they going to do it? And that will be something that would be really intriguing. So I think sending Dean Ambrose over to Monday Night Raw would be a great decision. But who do you trade him in for? And I don't know if I will get heat for this, but I think a great pick would be to have Finn Balor go to SmackDown for Dean Ambrose. I think they are like kind of superstars on the same level right now. I mean, Balor might be a bit of a bigger star, but Ambrose, he was WWE champion last year, so you can't really say anything bad about Dean Ambrose. I would say even they are like same level guys. And Finn Balor going to SmackDown Live, just imagine what you can do with Balor there. There's so much stuff you could do with Balor and AJ. I think that would be absolutely incredible. The possibilities, they could join each other or they could have a feud. I mean, Gallows and Anderson, they are still on Raw, and I think they should remain on Raw for now. Maybe they'll come over with the draft to SmackDown, and then they will join sides with either Balor or AJ. I think that would be awesome. So I would have Balor go over to SmackDown Live because there are so many matches that he could have there that I think would be great. On the Raw side, I don't really see I mean, he could face Rollins again, which would be alright. We did already see Balor against Roman Reigns. I mean, Balor versus Strowman is like not so exciting. Balor and Lesnar could be good, but on the SmackDown side, you have Randy Orton, John Cena, AJ Styles. That are already matches that I want to see Finn Balor in. So Finn Balor going to SmackDown Live, and Dean Ambrose going to Monday Night Raw without the Intercontinental Champion, because in our fantasy booking here, Baron Corbin would win the Intercontinental Championship from Dean Ambrose. So there we have Ambrose on Raw, and we're going to put him here next to Roman and Seth. So Shield reunion might happen down the line. I think they just gotta do it. I think it would just be awesome to have like a feud with Ambrose, Rollins, and Reigns against Samoa Joe, Kevin Owens, and Triple H. I think that would be sick. So another draft pick that I think needs to happen, and this is like a whole team that needs to go over to SmackDown Live, because the SmackDown Live tag team division is so weak compared to the Raw one. I mean, Raw got the Revival, and now probably the biggest tag team in the company right now, the Hardy Boys. So SmackDown doesn't really have anything. Their biggest two names are, I guess, American Alpha and the Usos. So what you gotta do, what just has to happen, they gotta move the New Day, Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods to SmackDown Live. I just think it needs to happen. They have pretty much beaten all of the Raw tag teams except the new ones now with the Revival and the Hardys. But I think the New Day would really help out the SmackDown tag team division a lot. That is a big name going into there. So I really think New Day will go and should go to SmackDown Live. But who do you give in exchange for the New Day? Because the SmackDown Live tag team division already, how it is pretty weak, and I don't really think SmackDown should give up any team. They now lost the Vaudevillains because Simon Gotch left the WWE, so the Vaudevillains are not there anymore. You got American Alpha, you got the Usos, you got Breezango, who are treated like absolute jokes, so you can't really take them seriously. You got the Ascension and maybe Slater and Rhino. That is not a really good tag team division, so you gotta move over the New Day. I think a lot of people want Alpha on Raw, but I just think that should not happen because SmackDown needs Alpha. I'm kind of really doing the video on the fly right now, so I'm kind of thinking about it. And I think, why not have the New Day be traded in for the Wyatt family? And I know they did set up that House of Horrors match that nobody knows what it is. Nobody knows what it's going to be. Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt, a lot of people are sick of this, and the next SmackDown Live pay-per-view is in 7 weeks, so you gotta give us 7 more weeks of Wyatt Orton. Maybe just change all that with having Bray and Rowan go over to Raw for the New Day. And then you have the possibility to also do the Wyatt family against the Hardys or Broken Hardys. They might be the Broken Hardys at that point, and what a rivalry that would be. That would be something for SummerSlam, I guess, or so. So I think this is a really good draft pick. New Day for the Wyatt family, because you do not hurt the tag team division on SmackDown with the Wyatt family because they are not competing in the tag team division. So I think that would be a great trade, actually. Man, Wyatt family going to Monday Night Raw. You know, there are like a lot of possibilities. They could feud with Strowman. I really would love to see that. Then they could, like I said, Broken Hardys with the Wyatt family. And I guess there are like a bunch of other possibilities too. So I'll put Bray Wyatt and Eric Rowan over to Monday Night Raw in exchange for the New Day, and they're going to feud with Usos, American Alpha and stuff on SmackDown. So I think that is going to be really good. And I think we gotta do like one more draft pick. I think we do 2 more because there's going to be one for the women, and I think that's going to be Alexa Bliss for Charlotte. So if you guys know, I don't really care for the women too much. I do not disrespect the women, I just don't care too much about it, okay? So one more draft pick for the men, and I really want Dolph Ziggler to go over to Monday Night Raw, because on SmackDown Live they're not doing anything with him, and I guess that is a WWE thing. They never do anything with Dolph Ziggler, and I just cannot understand it at all. Why would they not do anything with Ziggler? That guy has world champion written all over him. I guess he was world champion for a really short time, but now they're treating him like a joke. I mean, they treat like Mojo Rawley better than him. That is just ridiculous. So Dolph Ziggler going to Raw, I think he's not going to be a main eventer on Raw at all, but maybe his position would be better than it is on SmackDown. But who do you trade in for Dolph Ziggler? You know, Dolph Ziggler is like kind of now a mid-carder, lower mid-card maybe even right now. Last week he wasn't even on SmackDown. He did the dark match with Nakamura, but they didn't even have Ziggler on the show, and that is like really pathetic. But who could you really trade in Ziggler for? Chris Jericho. I think that would end the feud with Owens. I really don't want that to continue, and Jericho's going away with Fozzy now for a while anyway, so I would say just trade in Ziggler for Jericho, and Jericho, once he comes back, he's going to work on the SmackDown side. And there's like a bunch of guys now that he could definitely work with. You know, he could work Nakamura, maybe a Balor or something, because we now have Balor over there as well. So I think that would be an alright trade. I don't know if you guys agree. I think it's like really not an equal trade because Dolph Ziggler is like kind of treated really bad. But they could definitely use Dolph Ziggler on a Chris Jericho level. I mean, that could definitely happen. They could have him feud with Kevin Owens. I really would like to see Samoa Joe Dolph Ziggler matches. I think those would be great. So I think this would be the final trade that I would do. So guys, what do you think about my little superstar shakeup here I did here? I think Balor on SmackDown is just awesome with the possibilities of stuff you could do with AJ Styles. You have the New Day, who would kind of really help out the SmackDown Live division, tag team division a lot. You have now Sami Zayn on there. You know, maybe the first feud you could put him in is a feud with Baron Corbin, who in that case would be the Intercontinental Champion, because he's going to win it from Dean Ambrose in my fantasy booking that I had going on here. You could put him against Nakamura again. I mean, Maybe have Nakamura's first pay-per-view main roster match again against Sami Zayn like they did at the NXT TakeOver show. I think that would be awesome. On the Raw side, you now would have Dean Ambrose, who would make the Shield reunion possible at any time. Like I said, a feud Owens, Joe, and Triple H against the Shield would be absolutely sick. Then you have The Miz on Raw right now. You know, you can always do something with The Miz. You have the Wyatt family now there. Maybe they could do the program with the Broken Hardys when they become broken down the line. That would be awesome. Strowman Wyatt family, that would be awesome. Obviously, it's not like a prediction video because I think there is other stuff that is going to happen. They're definitely moving over AJ to Raw, which is really bad, I feel. So in my fantasy booking here, AJ would stay on SmackDown Live. And yeah, guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. What do you want to see happening at the WWE roster shakeup? Let me know in the comment section below what did you think about my fantasy WWE figure shakeup here that I did for you guys today. If you did enjoy, please make sure to leave me a like. That would be really much appreciated. And I guess that wraps it up for today. And I'll see you all in the next one.